Hey, welcome into Stone Cold Stros. I'm Brandon Strange with Charlie Palillo and Josh Jordan. Follow them on X and read their work at sportsmap.com. Be sure to hit like on this video to show your support for them and show your support for the Stros by hitting subscribe on the channel. Do us a favor, even if you know that you have subscribed to us, just do us a favor. Double check real quick, because YouTube has been doing this thing where they're unsubscribing people from the channel unbeknownst to the subscriber. It happened to me personally. I lost a couple of channels that I subscribed to, and then I've also been hearing other content creators talking about that as well. So just give us a peek real quick and just make sure you're still sub to us. That would do us a big favor. We don't want you to miss out on our content throughout the season. We want you to be with us, because not the least of which of the reasons we will be broadcasting opening day, our reaction here live after the game, Yankees Astros, Fromber v Cortez. We're really looking forward to it. And so we want you to be able to be with us for that. And also don't forget that the full version of this podcast is available in audio form right now at your favorite podcast app. Gents, let's jump right into it, because we are on the verge of the season. Goodbye, Florida. Hello, Sugarland. We also said goodbye to some guys like Lou Profito, Whitcomb, and Leon, and some others who are going to start the season in AAA. We've got some guys on the bubble in the form of Kessinger, Singleton, and Jolks. The lineup, as constructed right now, appears to be Altuve, Jordan, Tucker, Bregman, Abreu, Chaz, Diaz, Pena, and Myers. Those may be flipping around as Joe Espada, continues to tinker with it, but some of the biggest news we haven't responded to, or we haven't reacted to yet, was Espada saying that he likes the idea of batting Tucker third. So you're going to see Bregman hit in cleanup, because Espada likes the idea of Bregman hitting with guys in scoring position. It's not something we would ever have seen with Dusty Baker. He was such a slave to the righty-lefty matchups. This passes the eye test to me. What are your guys' thoughts on the order, the guys on the bubble, and just general thoughts on these hitters?
Well, painting with broader brush, it just speaks to the encouragement of Joe Espada being a younger, fresher, more progressive approach. Deciding a little earlier in spring training to bump Yordan Alvarez to the 2 spot, where he'll get, over the course of 162 games, 30 or so more plate appearances than if he was batting even in the cleanup spot. Right? The days are long dead that, your biggest masher, He-Man, he hits cleanup. And even that your very best offensive player should bat third. Batting him second, there's a lot of sensible argument for it. So to be a starting pitcher in 1-2, have Altuve, and should he get on, then Yordan Alvarez. And if you're on first base when Yordan's up, you're in scoring position and opening up that right side of the infield in the post-shift era. Could this be the year that, if Yordan, given good health, hits 320 with 45 home runs? You can't hit a 3-run homer in the first inning when you're batting second. But that's just a 1-2 punch that is on the top line with the very, very, very best in baseball. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman with the Dodgers. The Braves actually do it wrong, batting Ozzie Albies second behind Ronald Acuna Jr., but their lineup overall is awesome, but they probably should hit Matt Olson second, or someone else who's better than Albies second. And those Texas Rangers, right? Semien and Seager, that's stout. But that Altuve and Alvarez, given good health, go clearly behind any other tandem in the game. No. And so to have that 1-2, followed by Tucker, who, like Yordan, hammered lefties last year. 3 years in a row, Tucker's been a better baseball player than Alex Bregman. 2 of the last 3 years, he's been a much better offensive player than Alex Bregman. So to have Tucker third, Bregman fourth is sensible. And you know what? If, oh my goodness, both Altuve and Yordan made outs, 2 out, nobody on, Tucker gets a base hit, he can steal second and score on a single. Alex Bregman is in the bottom 25% in speed in Major League Baseball. So to have Tucker get on base ahead of Bregman makes more sense than having Bregman get on base ahead of Tucker. Moving down the lineup, my only quibble, but this is some deference to the career track record, not the Astro track record, of Jose Abreu. I'd want the real slow guy, who was by far the worst of the 3 last year among Abreu, McCormick, and in limited playing time, but Yainer Diaz. I'd want Abreu 7th. I sense that will sort itself out once we get into the season a little bit.
I'm with you there. And Chandler Rome posted something the other day, like Yainer Diaz is kind of sneaky fast. We'll see if that continues with him having to catch all these games. It takes a toll on the knees, but that's something to keep in mind. If Abreu's struggling, hey, get Yainer up in the order, faster guy. I like the Tucker move. Get him more at bats. Sometimes baseball's simple. Put your best hitters at the top of the lineup. Get them to the plate as often as possible. I love the idea for Breggy. He's so good at slapping the ball the other way if he needs to. If Tucker's on second base, he should score, no problem. I like that Espada's shaking things up. It's a new lineup. It's a little different this year, a new manager. Let's try some different things. So I like that. Myers and Pena, I think, will probably flip-flop 8 and 9 throughout the year, depending on who's playing better. But overall, I like this lineup a lot. So I'm excited to see what it looks like on opening day.
Yeah, the floor for this batting order is very high. The ceiling for this batting order is among the 2 or 3 best in Major League Baseball.
I like the transparency too from Espada. We would have never seen this level of transparency from Dusty. He basically telling you where he's going to play him, whereas Dusty would have done it and then just denied the question as you asked. So is this where he's going to hit? Well, we'll see. And so I like that Espada is just leaning into his choices and backing it up with analytics and logic. I like kind of look what we're seeing. Loperfido and Leon, they're going to go and play in AAA. But, Loperfido, if he doesn't, do a Justin Durden, where Justin Durden looked great in spring training last year and then really didn't do much in AAA, if he can carry his batting, good batting into AAA, I liked on the broadcast they were talking about there kind of being a letdown effect from, playing with some of the big guys and then coming into Minute Maid and playing within the 3 bowl stadiums and then going back down to the minors. They're kind of being a letdown in there. If he can stay focused, Loperfido that is, I think there's a real chance of him being able to get up to the big club this year, just because looking at who's in front of him, there's not a lot of strength there. When you're looking at a guy like Singleton or Kessinger, like I feel like Kessinger's the more versatile because he can, play more defensive spots. Singleton looks like he'll be a shoo-in just because he's out of options, but I don't think he'll be. I don't know how much rope Joe Espada is going to give him throughout the season, especially if a guy like Loperfido really is putting pressure on the main lineup and trying to get a spot. And we'll see how that goes. But he's playing a position there's not a lot of competition at that spot.
Yeah, and in Loperfido's case, had a banner year in the minors until his promotion to AAA, where he scuffled the last month. No cause for undue concern about that. But this isn't a guy who, like Wyatt Langford with the Rangers, in 3 months destroyed every level of the minors, and now he is fortifying that loaded Rangers lineup from opening day forward. So for Loperfido to go get everyday playing time at AAA, I think it's the right call. There's a 2-front watch on his path to the major leagues. Right, Jose Abreu did pick it up down the stretch and had a credible postseason, but he's 37 years old. He's already been gimping some in spring training, and overall in 2023, he was a lousy player. So if he's that player, the clock starts ticking, and in a gloom and doom scenario, just to be comprehensive, right? When would the Astros approach the line where they'd say, okay, we would demote this guy, and if he really falls apart, that you just swallow hard and get to DFA territory because he's just eating up a roster spot, offering zero versatility as a first baseman and maybe a little bit of DH only. So if Loperfido hammers, and to me, Abreu should probably be sitting 1 to 2 days per week anyway because of his age, unless he's really resurgent in his production. There's one avenue for Loperfido playing time, starter 2 per week at first base. And then in the outfield, what is Jake Myers going to do? Fortunately, he didn't suffer the old Bagwell 3 times over broken hand taking a pitch. But after a good start to the spring, flattened out a little bit at the end. And in the end, unless it's helping him make the roster, the spring training stats mean nothing. So what does Myers do if he struggles and Chas McCormick is then earmarked for more center field? Well, then that opens up some left field playing time, which Loperfido presumably could handle, given some minor league outfield time, though he's going to be playing first base primarily at Sugarland to start the season. So in terms of significant playing time for 2024 with the Astros, unless Loperfido just goes berserk, I think it's really more in the hands of Abreu than Myers than Loperfido.
Yeah, and I mean, Jake Myers, they just need him to be good enough with the bat. They love his defense. So as long as he's just good enough, doesn't kill them too much at the bottom of the order, I think they're going to give him every opportunity. And Abreu too. He's got all that money signed on. They're going to give him every chance to show that he was worth that signing. And so, and I mean, it's the right move. It's early in the season. Let's see how this looks. Charlie's right. You can't put too much in spring training games. Let's see what these guys look like. It's a new season for Abreu. It could be tough when you play for a team for so many years and then you have to learn a whole new organization, all your new teammates, try and earn their respect. And, maybe an extra year of comfort for him. Maybe he'll bounce back and have a good year. Who knows?
Yeah. And while I definitely agree that the spring training numbers have no bearing or indication of what the regular season will be, it does make you feel better. Like the 2 through 6 right now are hitting above 300. So you'd rather them look at least like they're slightly warm at the plate than completely incompetent. So does bode well, I think, for the season. That's going to be it for part 1 of Stone Cold Stros. To listen to the full podcast, it's up right now at your favorite podcast provider. And to watch the rest of the conversation on YouTube, just check back a little bit later. We'll have that other video posted on the Stone Cold Stros playlist. And as always, go Stros.